Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and for the final time tonight, welcome back to Minor League Esports, brought to you by APM Music. Once again, my name is an odd fellow. However, this time I am joined in the booth by the one and only Flips. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing great, Oddfellow. It's great to be here. It's great to see how cute you are, and I'm ready for some awesome matchups in Foundation League. I'm always excited to see some good Foundation matches.
Okay, let's leave all that for open net. Okay, this isn't the time or the place. Anyways, we are coming at you with this matchup. Is going to be a Foundation League match, standard again. This time between the Dodgers and the Outlaws. The Outlaws will be fielding Trent C, P Hamilton, and Stowe. The Dodgers will be fielding JMs, Ben, and Cole. And honestly, I would have been very surprised if the Dodgers didn't field JMs, because he is far and away statistically one of the better players on the Dodgers roster right now.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be a great matchup coming in here, and I am very excited to see what both teams bring out.
So as we are getting ready for both of these teams to get going here, let's go over some stats here quickly. The Outlaws are rolling into this one with a 13-2 regular season record. The Dodgers only 7-8. So definitely favoring the Outlaws on paper. Also with the Outlaws having a 9-1 record versus losing teams, which includes the Dodgers. The Dodgers having a 3-7 record against winning teams, as it does look like one of the players lost connection there. So
that is tough.
We will be having to remake quickly.
Yes. Well, that is unfortunate that we have to remake it so quickly, but I mean, I guess, better sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Better to do it and start at game one than have it be in game four.
Turn on this light right here so that you guys can see me a bit better now that I'm thinking about it. I don't want you guys to think I live in the darkness too much, although I do. Let's be honest. We all like some darkness.
Oh my. So, all right. So statistics and paper aside, who do you have in this matchup, Flips?
Who do I have in this matchup? Well, I'm honestly, I'm thinking about it. I'm probably gonna have to go with the Dodgers. And, I don't have very much evidence for it, but I do know that the Dodgers, they have a pretty solid lineup just in general, outside of this current game, right? And me in Foundation League, I know when I was in Foundation, I would bounce off of my teammates really, really well. And as they would teach me things, I would learn and I would get better. So I wouldn't doubt that the Dodgers bringing in like a little bit of a lower sal is actually like a game-changing factor for them, that it might help them and throw off the other team.
Yeah, and I definitely like taking the underdog here because I'm more of an underdog guy myself. A lot of times teams can look at this and go, oh, this should be a blowout for the Outlaws, and maybe the Outlaws are thinking that themselves, but then the Dodgers have something to prove here. And it's not like these teams are going to be drastically stacked one way or the other. Again, this is Foundation League. We have everything from 5 sals up to 10 sals on both these rosters. We have a 10, a 9-5, and an 8 on both rosters. Actually, I apologize. Ben is an 8 for the Dodgers. Stowe is an 8-5 for the Outlaws. So these rosters almost identical in terms of salary right now. So there's not a salary disadvantage for anything. So it really, paper aside, this is anybody's game to win here.
It truly is, and I'm very excited. I love seeing close matchups where it's really going into game 5 when you could really see who's the deciding factor. That's the most fun games to watch, as well as the most fun games to cast.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's I always love seeing the underdogs coming back because it always makes things more exciting. The audience loves getting behind it, and it's where you see a lot of really cool stuff starting to come out because, again, they have something to prove here. They want to show that they're still in it with this season. We're only halfway through. If the Dodgers get a good series victory here, 3 or 4 games, God forbid, maybe even 5, they have a great chance to really set themselves up going into the playoffs.
True, absolutely. Although I can't particularly see this going into a real big blowout, I'm excited for both teams here.
Yeah, I'm not saying this is 100% going to be a blowout.
Dodgers are really getting,
the Dodgers are getting one through. That's going to be a miscue between the two defenders there from the Outlaws and the Dodgers stealing one away to start game 1.
Unfortunate touch by Trent. I know he's kind of probably hitting himself in the head right now. I'd be doing the same. It's just unfortunate how he was there. Unplanned.
Yeah, and you can't even fault communication or anything with that. That's just an unfortunate play, unfortunate touch. That one, however, looked a little bit interesting between Hamilton and Stowe. Now, I will say, again, for those of you maybe just joining us who aren't familiar with MLE, this is Foundation League. This is the lowest league in MLE. So some of the things you may see on the pitch might shock you just a little bit if you're used to more conventional Rocket League. So don't fault these guys too much if there's mistakes that they make. Everybody has to start somewhere. This is the starting point for these guys.
Absolutely. And we don't like dodging them too much and making them feel bad. That's not what we're here for. We do really enjoy Foundation League, and we really do like seeing them grow. There's a lot of players that we see start at Foundation and grow to be in one of our highest leagues. So we're here helping them out. It's a great community.
That is what MLE is all about, is that growth in that skill level and just enjoyment of the game of Rocket League. As Ben gets a nice save there, puts it over towards his own corner. Hamilton trying to follow up. It's going to be a save from JMs. Trent now trying to fire this one towards the back of the net. Stowe was looking for the redirect, ends up putting it over the top post. I like what he was going for there. And Hamilton is finally able to follow it up.
Honestly, I just want to comment on Stowe's little touch here. That's a really wild touch to go for, especially in Foundation League. It probably threw off the Dodgers a little bit, so good job, Stowe, and way to finish it off, Hamilton.
And one thing I wanted to point out about that is, like, that's how you get better at the game. You force yourself to make those uncomfortable touches, go for those things you're not used to, because you're never going to learn how to do it properly if you don't try it and mess up. You know, like failure is just part of the solution. So Jams trying to get a shot on there, turned away by Trent. 3 minutes left to go in this game, tied 1 apiece here between the Foundation League Dodgers and Outlaws.
I like the way Cole's playing right now. He's not playing dirty, but he's playing in a very attacking mood. He's going for demos, he's going for bumps. Although he hasn't been successful yet, I could definitely see him being game-changing in the attack.
Speaking of Cole, going to the ceiling here, trying to play that one off the sidewall. Not enough boost to make anything effective, but I like the effort. I like the tenacity. I like the gumption, we'll say.
Love it.
As he definitely was trying to make something go there. Again, you can't learn how to do stuff if you don't attempt it first. As this one's now going to find its way towards the right wing corner here for the Dodgers. JM's trying to play it off the back wall. Stowe having a chance, turned away by the backboard.
Here we go, we got Hamilton coming up. Oh, Cole getting the touch past him. It looks like he's going for a cross, and it's going across, but no one's there to finish it. Dodgers unfortunately were slacking there just a little bit, but that's okay. They're coming on another attack. Trent missing. Hamilton going up. A good clear by Hamilton.
And that's just learning.
Sorry,
I was gonna say that's just learning rotations, right? Like the reason that there was no Dodgers there to finish that is because they just haven't quite figured out the proper speed and placement for rotations, which is gonna be the biggest thing that we see through these teams. Is that's a shot on from Jams, gets it over the top of both Outlaws defenders. Didn't look like they were ready for the speed on that one.
Honestly, just a fantastic catch by Jams. He saw them off guard, he saw them slacking, and he came in and he finished it off for the Dodgers.
2-1 lead here for the Dodgers with a little over 90 seconds left to play. Hamilton trying to get some points here for the Outlaws, trying to tie this one up as Trent now has a chance out of the corner. Ben sending this one back towards the midfield line. Trent opting to try and get a little bit of control, but great challenge from Ben, keeping the offensive pressure going. Hamilton gets dunked by Ben, but unfortunately that is still going to ring just to the left. Stowe gets it past one. Does get it taken away from him by JM. So the Outlaws trying to get some offensive pressure going here late in the game.
Yes, very much so. As you can tell, they are down by 1, so they are really going to be bringing it out, trying to get on the attack, and I'm sure they're going to let up some of their defensive rotations just to try to reach for a goal right now. The first game is probably one of the most deciding games of the series, in my opinion, and it's really that momentum is going to carry them into either win of the series or loss of the series.
I very much want to commend Ben for attempting to go for that double tap there. That would have been phenomenal if he had managed to I love watching Foundation League players hit double taps, man. It's so great.
It's a little bit messy, but sometimes it's awesome.
Yes. Now, I will agree with you about Game 1 being a deciding factor in Foundation League specifically, just because I feel like in Foundation, momentum plays a lot more of a role, just because a lot of times these players haven't quite figured out you know, the mental side of the game just yet.
Yeah.
In other leagues, I don't think game one is as important, but in Foundation League, I'll give you that one, that this game definitely has some potential to give us a layout for the rest of the series. 20 seconds left here. Cole looking for James with the pass.
Nice.
What a play by the Dodgers.
Wow. Great aerial, and just it was a fantastic pass by Cole here. And as I said earlier, I knew Cole was going to be a deciding factor on the attacking side. He was just playing like he owns the field, and that's what we love to see.
Yeah, and this is what I love, seeing plays being put together like that in Foundation League, because that shows that these guys have the chemistry to be able to put those pieces together and make that play happen. And I absolutely love seeing that as we are now approaching the last 5 seconds of this game. 2-goal victory is looking like it's going to be too much for the Outlaws to overcome. James tried to get a last-second goal there, but was saved away by Stowe. So that is going to be the Dodgers taking game one over the Outlaws. Still have 4 games left to play, Flips.
Yep, 4 games left, 4 tales to be told. And as we can see here, Dodgers got a bit lucky in the beginning with their first goal. You know, Trent unfortunately tapped it in, but the Dodgers really showed up later and got themselves the lead, got themselves the brace. And I can definitely see them having this momentum and maybe even winning game 2.
And the Outlaws definitely had a little bit of momentum on their side as well. If you look at the offense in terms of shot totals, the Dodgers had 6, the Outlaws had 5. So they had just as many offensive opportunities as the Dodgers did. They just weren't quite able to convert it quite as often. 3 of those 5 shots being saved away by Dodgers, so they've got 2 unaccounted for shots, which honestly, not bad for Foundation League, like only having 2 unaccounted for shots. So if they can get those offensive rotations tightened up just a little bit, again, I know this is Foundation League and they're still kind of figuring that out, but if they can just get that tightened up a little bit, I think the Outlaws are going to make a big change going into the last 4 games of the series.
I completely agree. I mean, looking at those stats after the game, you could definitely see that there wasn't a huge difference in gameplay. It was just a difference in finishing the ball.
Right, yeah, and that's really what it comes down to, you know, is your shots, are your shots just kind of ringing everywhere left, right, and sideways, or are they actually finding the back of the net? And last game, the Dodgers found the back of the net more.
Yes.
As we're getting go time here for game 2. Dodgers getting a decent kickoff going their way.
Dodgers
Ben
really
having a
going
chance to go. That gets sent off the sidewall. Big demo from Ben there in front of the net.
Let's see what Cole does here. Looks like he's shadowing a little bit. Throw away by Stowe, leading Cole to be able to go up the wall. Is he going to be able to reach that? No, James is going up for that one. Nice try. So now we have the Outlaws going to the back of the Dodgers side.
Stowe playing this one into the right wing corner for the Dodgers. Cole collecting it, missing the 50 from Stowe. Trent trying to shadow here. Cole gets the touch, and Trent's not going to be able to catch up. That is going to be the second opening goal by the Dodgers.
Lovely. Love to see it. You can definitely see Cole's trying his best right here, and he's leading the Dodgers to another win for now.
And this first goal was definitely a lot more in line with the Dodgers actually doing something than the last first goal, which was just a miscue defensively by the Outlaws. So the Dodgers continuing that momentum from game 1, rolling right into game 2, and the Outlaws have got to figure out something quick if they don't want to see this series fall away from them very quickly.
Which I don't doubt the Outlaws at all right now. I feel like the Outlaws could definitely make a comeback. It's only down by 1, and they have a really good lineup. I could definitely see them getting 1, maybe even 2 goals above the Dodgers by the end of the game.
Yeah, oh no, and the Outlaws definitely still have a chance to come back here. Don't get me wrong, I'm not writing them off yet. It's just right now the Dodgers have all the control and everything is just looking their way. This could very, very quickly turn around. And speaking of, Trent gets a shot up, and there it is. Beautiful shot from Trent. Unfortunately, I wasn't quite sure which Dodgers defender that was. Looks like that's going to be Cole, who just barely misses saving that one off the crossbar. But fantastic chip shot there from Trent.
Yes, way to keep themselves in. This is the momentum they needed after last game. This is definitely going to assist them in maybe even getting another goal pretty quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next minute we see another goal by the Outlaws.
Stowe trying to lead the way here on the offense for the Outlaws. Gets a demo onto Ben. Hamilton, lots of space here. Looking for the double tap into the corner.
Nice
not
try.
quite able to get that one. Great effort from him, but unfortunately not able to get his car turned. Stowe getting a nice drop down here. That's all the defenders cleared out for the Dodgers, and Hamilton walks that one in for a 2-1 lead for the Outlaws.
Honestly, a great play here. Stowe was being very risky by going up for it, but it paid off in the end. Hamilton was able to come in and finish it. Like I said, the momentum is going to carry them to even further.
We're going to see Ben and Trent going on the kickoff here. Cole and Stowe up for the cheat. Cole winning that one into the corner is going to get challenged early by Hamilton. James trying to drop this one down, losing control. Trent was 0 boost, able to get a nice 50 there. Ben towards the backboard. Hamilton on the backboard. What a clear from Hamilton. And I love that Foundation players know to use backboard for defense.
It's honestly something newer because when I was in Foundation a season or two ago, we didn't really use the backboard that much. It was kind of something that was a bit alien to us. So as you can see, the league is generally getting better. We're having a higher skills in all leagues. And I think I have to give props to LO for a little bit of that, having the rank distributions, you know, changing everything up, making everything a lot more fair and even.
Yeah, and this is, what a shot from Stowe there. Did he launch that from, he did. He launched that from like his own 25-yard line into the box and just blasted that one in. Ben, I think Ben thought that was going to hit off the sidewall, if I'm going to be completely honest.
I wouldn't have been surprised. If I was in that position, I probably couldn't have made that read either.
Stowe looking for that one off the backboard, unfortunately missing that. I feel that one, buddy. I do that 9 times a game in my own ranked games. James looking for it, but almost had a chance, but wasn't quite able to stay in control. Ben with the finish, able to throw that one back in. Great putback there by Ben.
Just like that, the Dodgers are back in it. No more brace for the Outlaws, and the Dodgers are going to try to come back and strike for a really good game.
2 minutes and 10 seconds left here on the clock in game 2. We've got the Outlaws with the 1-goal lead, trying to tie the series back up at 1 apiece. Ben having a chance here. Stowe looking to read that one, ends up going off the crossbar. Trent playing that one into Cole. Ben, I think, might have been looking for a softer back pass towards JMs, or potentially was just in car cam and didn't see the ball, as Ben clears that one out off the goal line. Cole trying to get some offense going here for the Dodgers. James with a shot on, but Hamilton is there to clear it away. 90 seconds left, Flips. It's still anybody's game.
It absolutely is. Here we go. We got the Dodgers really trying to get one more in because they want to take it to overtime as their last concern. You know, I'm sure they'd want to win it. I'm sure they want to get 2 goals in these next 90 seconds. It's very possible. But worst comes to worst, the Dodgers definitely going to try to at least reach for one. They're gonna pull it out of anything they can. Here we go. We got Ben coming up. Oh, but he doesn't go for the double this time. Instead, unfortunate. He could have really struck on the Outlaws right there as Hamilton and Trent bumped each other in the net.
But again, it's that kind of shot accuracy that we're missing a little bit. These guys haven't quite figured out how to be as consistent with that just yet. So we're going to see some opportunities like that kind of get squandered a little bit. But that's okay, because it's all part of the learning process, as Cole not able to slot that one underneath Hamilton. 43 seconds left on the clock. Ben getting a nice beat over the top of Hamilton there. James looking for the follow-up, just barely whiffs that one underneath the ball. Put back here by Trent. That was a save attempt being made there, but Trent able to slot that one in, extending the Outlaws' lead to 2 goals.
Yeah, a great brace by Trent here. And I got to just mention one thing. I think it's been a good year or so since I've seen an Endo be played in MLE. Got to give props to Trent for that car.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's what's giving the Outlaws, I think, a little bit of the advantage here.
True. I have not seen that car in forever. Got to give him props for that.
This is why we love the MLE stream. You never know which cars you're going to see on which given days. And playing this one into the left wing corner for the Outlaws, trying to get some last-second offense going here for the Dodgers in game 2. But with the clock starting to tick down, Flips, I believe the Outlaws have pretty solidly secured this one, and they're going to tie the series at 1 apiece.
Yep, and I got to give it to Stowe. Stowe was really the heart of the team here, making a lot of the executive decisions, making a lot of the important saves. Really big props to Stowe for that game.
Yeah, Stowe definitely showing up there. He is going to be that 8-5 for the Outlaws on the pitch for them. So, and it's one of those things where there's so many things that happen on the pitch that the scoreboard doesn't tell. You know, like there's the small touches that don't get counted as assists or saves that kind of move the ball into the right spot that set your teammates up for other things. So, really great job from all 6 players on the pitch. And again, very equal shot totals here. We've got 5, 6, 7, 7 shots for the Outlaws and 7 shots for the Dodgers. So again, very equal offense. The Outlaws this time, though, coming away with the more consistency on their shots.
Absolutely. I mean, with one person, with all their team getting at least 1 goal, that's amazing. Not only that, but one thing I was noticing as they were playing was their rotations were a lot cleaner than the first game. The Outlaws were definitely hitting back post. I definitely saw a moment where Hamilton skidded to the back post and just waited there patiently, having really good rotations. And I feel like that is one thing that is defining them differently from the Dodgers.
And that's one of those things that Game 1 kind of allows you to do. And that's why I say that in leagues outside of Foundation, Game 1 isn't necessarily as huge of a deciding factor, because it gives you a chance to kind of feel out what your opponents are doing, kind of get a feel for how they're rotating, how they like to play the game, and then you can adjust in Game 2, and the Outlaws definitely adjusted. Now it's time to see if the Dodgers can readjust to account for the new Outlaws rotations.
Here we go. I think for the first time in the series, the Outlaws actually won the kickoff. Here we go, seeing something different to begin. Stowe being a little bit risky here, going a bit more up in the air. You got Trent here, trying to get a cross in. Stowe, can he finish it? Unfortunate. We can have to see here that the Outlaws are being a lot more on the attack. They are hungry for it. They really want this 3rd game. They want to be above in the series, and I wouldn't be surprised if they got it.
Yeah, it's that momentum that they're carrying over from Game 2 that gave them that kind of confidence that they needed to really get their offensive plays going. And like you said, they are absolutely carrying it here into Game 3. Not quite a minute gone yet in this game. Still lots of back and forth, but the Outlaws have definitely had a lot more of the offensive pressure as Ben tries to put a shot on there. Trent and Ben both missing their 50, gets turned away by an Outlaws defender. Jams trying to get a 50 there, but it ends up playing into the Outlaws' favor as Trent launches one towards the net, trying to put one on here, and Hamilton's going to finish it off. That's going to be the first goal of the game for the Outlaws.
Well done by Hamilton, being patient. After he saw Trent miss, he's like, okay, it's my turn. And he hit it on target. Exactly what the Outlaws need, exactly what the Dodgers need too. Everyone here needs accuracy, and that's what's important.
Nice kickoff there for the Outlaws. Quickly gets taken away by Cole. Hamilton not quite able to get the 50 from the ceiling. Ben now into the left corner. Trent sending that one away into the waiting arms of Jams. So again, the Dodgers trying to get some offense going here. They're just not able to be consistent enough, as that's a chance, but Ben sends that one away. And right now it just looks like the Outlaws are just perfectly fine with sitting on their own goal line and playing hard defense until they get a good breakaway.
Honestly, and the patience is key. That's one thing a lot of people don't realize, is sometimes waiting for the right time to strike is just as good as being a little bit of a ball chaser. You know, there's both sides of the coin that work, and having a team that can do both is really key. Wow, another amazing shot by Hamilton here. Hamilton is on fire, going up for it, really reaching and getting a strong hit, 71 miles an hour. At that far, incredible.
Fantastic shot by Hamilton there. A little bit unfortunate in terms of Cole being slightly out of position, but did everything he could to try and reorganize himself. Unfortunately, was not able to collect that one. So the defense for the Dodgers definitely looking a little bit lackluster compared to what we've seen in the first 2 games, as the Outlaws are really carrying that momentum over from Game 2 into Game 3.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, and we have the no one's going for the ball, unfortunately. Dodgers could have had a practically open net there. But we got Cole coming up the wall here. Not sure how much boost he has, but oh, he's carrying it very nicely, especially for a foundation player. That was pretty nice. I'll give him that.
Hey, more consistent than I've done, and I'm a high ACAD player, I'll tell you that. But yeah, it's definitely it's definitely really cool seeing these guys trying out these mechanics. I will say the 50s are the biggest thing here. They've been so, I have no other way to say it other than 50-50, right? Like, if there's not one team that's dominating the 50s more than the others, it does look like these lean a little bit towards the Outlaws overall, which is kind of giving them these big offensive pushes. But that is going to be a huge shot on potentially by the Outlaws, but it does get saved away by Ben.
Great job, Ben, there. And yeah, as you were saying, you know, with the 50s, I think 50s in Foundation League are the most important mechanic to learn. And people are like, oh, 50s aren't a mechanic. But when you think about it, they are, because they're kind of a game you have to play. You have to watch the other player.
Oh, what a bump.
Wow. Great bump. Great shot by Ben. A really good just team play there. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I couldn't even see who that was. Oh, that was JM's just absolutely removing Stowe from the goal line, opening it up for his teammate. And that's the kind of thing that I was talking about at the end of the last game. Those are the kind of plays that don't show up on the scoreboard, right? Like, that is clearly an assist for Ben, but it's not going to show up in the assist column for JM's. But fantastic communication, fantastic team play there by the Dodgers. Just under 90 seconds left to play here, and they've cut this lead down to 1.
Yeah. This is an amazing game. I'm really glad to see that it's going to closer 2-1 game rather than 2-0 blowout. I love to see the closer games. I love to see. Wow. So just, I guess the Outlaws don't like close games. They just want to shut me up real quickly.
It would seem so. This is a fantastic play here by the Outlaws. Took advantage of a little bit of break in rotation there by the Dodgers. They got themselves a little bit too spread out, got a little too eager to go back on that offensive push. But they definitely still have time here. 65 seconds. What a play again coming in from the Dodgers. What a backboard pass from Jams.
Jams yet again getting an amazing assist here, as we can tell. Oh, wait, no. Jams got the shot. Ben got the assist.
My screen's telling me something very different. Anyways, I don't know what was going on there, but my screen was definitely showing me different things. So I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, if I was calling the wrong names there.
It also said the wrong things on the stream. Must have been something with Rocket League, guys. Don't blame us. It's okay.
But as we're ticking down to the last 45 seconds here, Flips, it really is looking like this could come down to the wire. But again,
nope,
the Outlaws,
like shutting us up.
As soon as we like trying to make commentary, the Outlaws just come in and go, nah, we got this. Don't even worry about it.
Trent with the goal this time, and I believe that is. Did Stowe get a goal? Do you know?
Stowe does not have a goal yet. Hamilton's got a hat trick. Trent, that was his first goal of the game. So Stowe is the only one of the Outlaws who has yet to score.
That's okay. Stowe is still being a game changer. You know, you don't have to get the assists. You don't have to get the goals to be a really good player on the field. Sometimes just taking up some space and making space in other places is exactly what a team needs. And the Dodgers are right back in it.
And this is such an unfortunate play here from Trent. He's trying so hard to get back, but the speed on this touch from Jams is just too much. It actually looks like Trent gets a little bit of a misflip, basically redirects it instead of trying to clear it out. So unfortunate misplay there defensively by the Outlaws leads to a very fortuitous opportunity here for the Dodgers.
And Dodgers are on the attack again with that great kickoff, leading them with some momentum. Oh, but Jams is being a good patient. Got Ben here. Let's see. Will the Dodgers be able to tie it up in the next 6 seconds? Still very possible. We got Jams coming up, and that looks like it's. Oh no! That looks like it's it for Game 3. Good job, Outlaws, getting the series. After that second game, you definitely saw a change in their gameplay, their rotations, the way they were passing each other. I mean, the assist ratio is much higher now than it was earlier. A lot before, it was very much solo plays with a couple of passes from the Dodgers, who had that one amazing play in Game 1. That was an incredible play.
But other than that, it was a lot of singles. The Outlaws definitely had a lot more overall control in this game than the Dodgers did. As you can see, the shot totals were not nearly as close in this Game 3 as they have been throughout the rest of the series. 8 for the Outlaws and only 5 for the Dodgers. So the Outlaws definitely did a much better job in terms of overall field control. However, the Dodgers are getting more accurate because all of a sudden they have 5 shots and 3 goals. So that accuracy percentage is getting a little bit better for the Dodgers.
True, but I think that also is like a little bit of a correlation of the Outlaws controlling the field. You know, if the Dodgers had more control, they'd probably have more shots, more misses, and stuff like that. But since the Outlaws are really controlling them and containing them on their half, it's really destroying the Dodgers' momentum.
I'm going to say the same thing for the Dodgers here that I was starting to say for the Outlaws. They have to watch these rotations. Like, they're starting to get, in the middle of the game, they kind of start getting very spread out. And it's always right around the 2 or 3 minute mark in the game that you see the rotations really get spread out, because especially when the game is close, they want to try and get that super hard aggressive push and tie it up or take it back to within 1. And so they get a little bit lost in terms of where all their rotations are. So if they can get those quick, powerful offensive pushes without getting too spread out, I think they're going to be a lot better off.
Funny you say that, because their first play of the game, the ball hasn't even left the Dodgers half of the first 15 seconds. They were on the attack. Unfortunately, they were not able to get a finish. But still, they are trying to keep control, trying to do their best here. Definitely, they said something in between games where they're like, all right, this is our game. We're going to keep on the attack. We're going to just pressure them, and we're going to get the first goal, because that's what the Dodgers need. The Dodgers need the first goal.
Yeah, and this game for so critical, as that is going to be the first goal of the game, going the way of the Dodgers off of the flying Fennec of James.
What a great job by James. Honestly, it's fantastic to even go up for that, but not only have the beat with that angle, just a little tap needed. It was incredible.
And again, we still have another game to play after this one, regardless of the outcome here. So the Outlaws have a chance to solidify the series and take their 3rd win here. But if the Dodgers are able to take a win here and tie the series up at 2 apiece and take us into Game 5 with no series victor decided, this could get interesting. And speaking of interesting, Trent ties it up.
Trent really coming out right now. At the end of the last game, you could definitely see he was really bringing out something of the Outlaws that we didn't see before. And he kept his momentum, and he's doing something different for the Outlaws here, really keeping them in the game.
And have Cole and Stowe going for this kickoff. That kickoff going well in the way of the Dodgers. Ben, unfortunately, not able to catch up to it to sink that one into the back of the net. Trent now firing his own shot on. Cole and Ben both going up. A little bit of a miscue there from the Dodgers. This could be dangerous for them as the net is a little bit open, but Trent not able to put that one on target. Cole now looking to take this one up the left side wall. It does get bumped out of the way. I believe that was Stowe that came in there and nudged him out of the way. Oh, Cole looking for the redirect from James, but wasn't quite able to get it.
There we go. The Outlaws getting it out of their half, or at least attempting to here. Really struggling. There we go. We got Trent tapping it out of the half, but James there. Good read. James taking it up their right side of the wall, taken by Cole. Is Cole going to do anything fancy here? It looked like he was trying to get a flip reset there. A bit risky for a foundation player, but I love to see it.
Hey, you got to take the risks to figure things out, right? It's like I've been saying, you know, we're going to see these guys taking some interesting touches, taking some interesting shots, because they're figuring things out. Speaking of interesting touches, Trent putting that right over the top of his own teammate. Stowe sending this one out mid. Cole actually already up and waiting. Fantastic pre-jump there from Cole, but unfortunately the Dodgers not quite able to make anything work with it just yet. Hamilton sending this out mid. Ben trying to put it back post, not able to sink that one. Does get the bump on Stowe for his troubles. James into the corner, looking for the double, not quite able to get that one, turned away by Hamilton. The Dodgers are throwing everything they can at the Outlaws right now, but the Outlaws defense holding steady for the time being.
Honestly, the Outlaws rotation here, as you can tell, you just saw it right there. No matter what, even when the ball was at half, they had one person in net, waiting, being patient, making sure their rotation was stable. That's exactly what we see. And as you can tell, so I believe that was Hamilton who just went back for Trent, and that's when they rotated out. If you see that rotation, you see this rhythm. It's like music, you know, there's a rhythm, there's a melody with your team, how you play. There's always someone back, always someone forward, helping each other out, communicate. That's what's important in Foundation League to learn.
Communication is the name of the game, and right now it just looks like the communication might be a little bit crisper for the Outlaws than it is for the Dodgers. However, still a little over 90 seconds left to play, and we are still tied here. So there is still plenty of opportunities here for the Dodgers to take this Game 4 and send us to Game 5 without the series having been decided. Stowe, things went into the left wing quarter of the Dodgers, gets turned away immediately by Ben, continuing to push the pressure here for the Dodgers. Very friendly bounce there for the Outlaws. That's going to be two Dodgers players going for it, but Ben able to get back and keep that from being a fast break goal for the Outlaws. Ben, again, continuing his pursuit, playing this one off the ceiling down to James. Stowe tried to intercept it, but wasn't quite able to get a touch. James towards the back wall, gets the demo on Hamilton. Cole is up, not able to put that one in. That would have been a fantastic shot by Cole.
It would have been a crazy shot. Play of the week right there if he scored that.
Ben putting that one over the top of a defender off the pass from Jams, and that is going to be the 2-1 game lead going to the Dodgers.
I gotta say, I'm rooting for the Dodgers here because I really want to see it go into Game 5. I would be eccentric if this went into Game 5.
I mean, it's going to Game 5 one way or the other, but it would make Game 5 a lot more interesting if it was tied at 2 apiece going into that Game 5. Trent sends that one out. Cole had a chance to try and maybe cushion the lead there for the Dodgers. Trent gonna boom that one away. James looking to collect it off the wall. Trent beating him to it. Down off the ceiling. Ben getting a nice 50 with Stowe, but Hamilton is right there to try and put it back in on offense. Trent, again, the rotations from the Outlaws. They're quick, they're crisp, they're tight, but it's not resulting in goals just yet as Hamilton does get the demo onto Ben there, trying to slow down the offensive push here by the Dodgers with the last 15 seconds starting to tick away. 5 seconds left on the clock here. Seconds starting to tick away. JM's trying to collect it, and that is going to be Game 4 going to the Dodgers. So Flips, series hasn't been decided yet. We're going to a Game 5, and it's going to mean something.
I love it. I love when this happens. I love seeing games go into Game 5. Like I said earlier, it's my favorite thing to see because that means both teams are battling out. They're putting it and they're putting their heart on the field. They're giving 110% no matter what, and we're going to see a fantastic game. But I want to know, who do you have going on into this Game 5?
So the Dodgers have the momentum here, but it just seems like the Outlaws have been so in control for the last 3 games. The Dodgers really just kind of had like a last breath, a final wind there in the last 60 seconds that really kind of allowed them to take that one over the Outlaws. Like that really kind of felt like the Outlaws came to lose and they kind of gave it away a little bit. So I definitely think the Outlaws are still going to be the favorites going into this Game 5, but clearly the Dodgers still have some surprises up their sleeves.
You know, I gotta say, I kind of agree with you there. I think that the Outlaws are gonna outsmart the Dodgers. The Dodgers are definitely a faster team, without a doubt. I mean, if we pulled up the stats, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers were just consistently faster. They're always kind of beating the Outlaws, but the Outlaws just have that specific rotation that's really, really working for them right now. And if they could pull it off here in this game, I wouldn't be surprised if they won.
And it does look like we may be having some technical difficulties here, potentially.
Does look like we're gonna need a new reset
to a new lobby, perchance.
There we go. So we are resetting the lobby here, and that's gonna be fun. So let's keep talking about this Game 5. So
yeah, so the Outlaws.
Yeah. The Outlaws are definitely favorites. I mean, I could see a lot of "Let's go Outlaws" in the comments, "Outlaw for life," and stuff like that. The Dodgers, they did mention that they have some sick profile picks, so I'll give them that. They do have some pretty cool profile picks. I really like that they're always consistent with each other. I mean, I just played a scrim against the Dodgers, like I think yesterday, and they all had the profile. So you know there's some real camaraderie there, and you always got to appreciate that.
And one thing that I think we're kind of breezing over here a little bit is that, again, the Outlaws were 13-2 coming into this series. That means over the course of the last 4 weeks, they lost 2 games. They have lost 2 games just in this series to the Dodgers.
Sure.
So the Dodgers have fought and clawed and done everything they needed to get right back into this series, and we cannot talk enough about how well they are doing here. Even if they don't end up winning the series, I still think the fact that they were able to take 2 games off the Outlaws really, really helps out their performance here, because if they are able to take this Game 5, it puts them at 10-10 going into the rest of the season. If they don't, they end up at 9-11, which still isn't that bad with over half the season left to be played.
True. I mean, both teams are in really good spots, but the Outlaws are definitely probably mad that they lost 2 games in this series when they've only lost 2 games in the past weeks.
This reset giving a chance for a little bit of a timeout almost, as Hamilton comes back from the reset early and scores in the first 6 seconds.
Honestly, these are just amazing goals to see from Foundation. I see them up in the air, and when I was in Foundation, I was definitely not as risky as these people are being here. I was very game sense, staying on the ground, and I guess you could see that in my playstyle now. I definitely do not like going in the air still, so props to these Foundation players.
Well, I think it just goes to show that the actual floor skill in Rocket League is slowly rising and has been rising for the last couple of years. These gold and platinum and low diamond players, the skill level it takes to be at that rank now is not what it used to be. It's a lot higher. I would almost venture to say that there are some plat players that if you were to throw them into a lobby, 3 or 4 years ago, they have been almost high diamond.
I was actually going to say that too. I completely agree. Because I remember, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, I was sitting there on YouTube watching Squishy Muffins and everything like that. And he probably hit this basic double tap, and everyone thought it was the most insane thing ever. But here we are, Stowe getting the brace for now. A great pass by Trent. And a great shot by Stowe.
It's almost more than just a great pass. The shot that Trent gets there, he plays it so well to himself off the wall with the backflip, and then is able to then follow up and send it across to Stowe without sending it too fast. Because how many times have you tried to pass across the net to your teammate and you end up blasting it at 100 miles an hour and your teammate just watches it zip by and can't do anything? So it was a fantastic pass there from Trent to be able to set up his teammate, giving the Outlaws the 2-0 lead here in Game 5.
Can Trent do one more? And there it is. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the Dodgers right now, but it kind of feels like Cole's slowing down. In the first games, Cole was definitely the front man, but it seems like here he's kind of slowing down being the third man. I wonder what tactic that is from the Dodgers.
So that's honestly, I think that's a little bit more on the touch that Trent got there. That little floater can sometimes look like it's moving at a different speed than it actually is, and it really throws off your ability to read what the ball's doing. I mean, like I said, I'm champ 2. I get beat by those sometimes occasionally just because it really throws off your ability to read. So it doesn't surprise me to see Cole get kind of froze up on the goal line there. Then firing this one across the midfield line into the waiting arms of Stowe. Ends up missing his touch, but Hamilton able to follow it up. James getting a nice save off his goal line. Hamilton trying to send it across. Stowe is there. Both defenders from the Dodgers miss, and that's going to be 4-0 now in favor of the Outlaws.
That is just incredible. The Outlaws came out here hungry. They were starved, and honestly, they're pulling out the best game that they've pulled all series, and this is the game to do it. Game 5, a 2-2 series. They're mad. They want it. And looks like they're going to take it. Oh, wow. Almost getting the stealing double.
And you know what the scary part is here, Flips? There's still 3 minutes left to play in this game. There is still plenty of time for the Dodgers to make something happen here. Trent, again, going for those backboard double taps. He's going to hit that at some point this season, folks. Just you wait. He's been trying for him all night. At some point this season, he's going to get it. Wow. And Hamilton slots one in past the defenders. Great challenge here from Hamilton.
It really was. Honestly, Hamilton's really just sticking on the attack. He's playing exactly how Cole was playing in the first couple of games. Keeping the pressure up, making them make mistakes, and capitalizing.
And trying to play this one, looking for the first points on the board for the Dodgers here in Game 5. Just over half the game left to play. That's going to be Ben and James both up. Cole wisely opting to stay back there so the Outlaws don't get an easy breakaway goal. Does end up getting a nice save there to keep that from potentially being a 6th goal on the board for the Outlaws. Ben, again, double commit with James. It looks like we might be seeing a little bit of communication breakdown from the Dodgers, but the Outlaws haven't quite had the opportunity to punish it just yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, getting 5 goals scored on you within even 3 minutes, it can really be detrimental to your mental for the series. And your mental health during a game is probably the most important and key portion of Rocket League.
And the Outlaws are just starting to run away with this one, as that's going to be the 6th goal of the game for the Outlaws and a hat trick for Stowe. The Dodgers have yet to put a shot on. I mean, we're getting to that point in the game where I'm struggling to find something that the Dodgers can do here. It just really looks like that everything is in the hands of the Outlaws, and you know, with just over 90 seconds left to play here, Flips, I don't know what the Dodgers can do to dig themselves out of this hole.
You know, I could start naming things they're doing wrong here, but that wouldn't help them at all, considering that I could tell that their mental's just broken here. Their mental's broken. There's not much they can do about it because it doesn't seem like they're supporting each other as much as they would. You know, they're lacking trust, as you can tell again. The double commits and everything. That shows almost a lack of trust with each other, that they're not communicating, not saying, "Oh, I got this." It's not as upbeat, because I know that's what happens with my teams at times. You see that? Another double commit. They're not really communicating with each other, and it's really being detrimental. They're not being as tight as you were saying earlier. I like the way you put it. They're being tight-knit with their rotations, but now they're just not being as strong.
Okay, Jams gets a goal. 60 seconds left to play here. Down by 5. Still have time.
Yeah,
Maybe
honestly,
this goal lights a fire underneath the Dodgers and they're able to turn this into some really quick fire offense, but they've got a lot of ground to make up here, Flips.
They really do. It is going to be an incredible journey for them if they can do it. And if they do pull it off, it'll probably be remembered the entire season.
And trying to play this one out mid. Cole going up early. Does miss his touch, but so does Hamilton. So that slows it down enough for Jams to try and come collect this one. Trent taking it away from him. Hamilton gets the demo on the goal line onto Ben, but Cole puts it past 2 Outlaws attackers. And now all of a sudden the Dodgers find themselves attacking. Cole sending it. Jams trying to finish it off, but doesn't need to. 30 seconds left here, Flips. Is there time?
Is there time? That's a great question. It took them 30 seconds to get one more. But, I mean, technically, if they could score one every 5 seconds, they could still win the series.
They need kickoff goals here. They definitely took way too long getting that last goal to go, but it did eventually go their way. But I think as we're ticking down to the final 22 seconds, and that is going to be the proverbial nail in the coffin for the Dodgers. The Outlaws are going to take this Game 5 in dominating fashion.
Honestly, a really good boost for their MVPRs. They're going to be very happy looking at that report card at the end of the day.
Yeah, you always love looking at a report card at the end of the day and then seeing how it affects your salary on Monday.
True.
As Ben
Tomorrow is salary day.
Trying to get something going here for the Dodgers. The Dodgers just trying to get some form of last-second anything, but that is going to be...
The Outlaws wanted a trip to Spain.
Yeah, I was about to say that's going to be the Barca for the Outlaws there. $11 seconds left to play here. The Dodgers looking to kind of limp their way towards the end of this game, just kind of pad the stats a little bit as best they can.
Cole taking it slow. Cole knows nothing else is going to happen. He's just trying to go for anything there.
Jam's asking for a lobby reset with 3 seconds left. I love it. Oh my goodness. But the Outlaws do end up coming away with Game 5 there. So that is going to be the Outlaws taking the series. But again, the Dodgers still got 2 games off them. And that was a lot better than I think a lot of people thought they were going to do, myself included, coming into this. I thought this could easily have been a 4-1 or worse in favor of the Outlaws. But the Dodgers came up ready, came up good to go, and they just were, they showed up. They showed up, they played their game, and unfortunately weren't able to close it out, but they did get those 2 wins off the Outlaws.
Yeah, really good job by the Dodgers at the end of the day. I mean, I really don't know what happened there in that 5th game. They were doing amazing the 4 games leading up to it, but that last game, they were just loose. They weren't as tight-knitted as usual, and although they pulled off an amazing feat, I mean, getting 2 games off of the Outlaws when they've only lost 2 games in the past 3 weeks, incredible. Really big props to the Dodgers.
Yeah, fantastic job to both teams, but that is going to be our final broadcast for the night here from MLE. Once again, my name has been an Oddfellow. I've been joined in the booth tonight by Flips. You have been watching this week's presentation of Minor League Esports, brought to you by APM Music. We will see you all next Saturday for more Minor League action. You all have a great rest of your night and a great week.
Bye, bro.